Ricky xin kính chào quý cô chú anh chị. Đây là video thực tập Small Talk cơ bản và trọn bộ câu hỏi thông tin cá nhân mà người phỏng vấn hay hỏi trong phỏng vấn quốc tịch Mỹ. Quý cô chú anh chị cũng biết, có thể người phỏng vấn sẽ hỏi những câu hỏi Small Talk, không hẳn chỉ để hỏi xã giao, mà thông qua những câu hỏi xã giao như vậy, họ còn kiểm tra khả năng giao tiếp, khả năng nghe hiểu tiếng Anh của người thi. Ricky có biết một số trường hợp đã rớt phỏng vấn ngay từ lúc đầu tiên khi officer gặp người đó và bắt đầu từ những câu hỏi Small Talk. Bên cạnh những câu hỏi Small Talk, việc trả lời lưu loát những câu hỏi thông tin cá nhân trong đơn N400 cũng rất quan trọng. Trả lời tốt những câu hỏi thông tin cá nhân sẽ nói lên được người thi có khả năng nghe hiểu tiếng Anh tốt và sẽ tạo được ấn tượng tốt cho người phỏng vấn. Để giúp cho quý cô chú anh chị tăng thêm sự tự tin khi phỏng vấn và phỏng vấn đạt kết quả tốt nhất, nhóm của Ricky làm video này để giúp cho quý cô chú anh chị thực tập những câu hỏi Small Talk và thông tin cá nhân dễ dàng, dễ học và dễ nhớ. Mỗi câu hỏi và câu trả lời sẽ được lặp lại 2 lần. Lần đầu, quý cô chú anh chị sẽ nghe câu hỏi và câu trả lời được gợi ý. Quý cô chú anh chị có thể trả lời theo cách riêng của mình hoặc chỉ cần thay thế từ gạch dưới trong câu. Có những câu hỏi có nhiều cách hỏi khác nhau nhưng ý nghĩa giống nhau. Quý cô chú anh chị cố gắng luyện tập câu trả lời để làm quen với từng cách hỏi khác nhau nha. Lần 2, quý cô chú anh chị sẽ nghe câu hỏi thêm một lần nữa và tự trả lời cho trường hợp của mình sau khi đã nghe và tham khảo câu trả lời ở lần đầu. Đây là những câu hỏi thông tin cá nhân thường gặp trong phỏng vấn quốc tịch Mỹ. Quý cô chú anh chị cố gắng luyện tập nghe và trả lời lưu loát những câu hỏi trong video. Ricky nghĩ sẽ đem lại sự tự tin cho quý cô chú anh chị khi phỏng vấn. Chúng ta bắt đầu bài học nha. Ricky cảm ơn quý cô chú anh chị đã xem video.
How's the weather today?
It is a nice day.
How's the weather today? Is it raining outside?
Yes, it is raining right now.
Is it raining outside? How do you like the weather today?
It is too cold, but I like it.
How do you like the weather today? How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. How about you?
How are you? How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. I spent a lot of time with my children.
How was your weekend? Do you have plans for the weekend?
Yes, I plan to go out to the movie with my family.
Do you have plans for the weekend? How did you come here today?
I drove here.
How did you come here today? How was the traffic?
It was so busy.
How was the traffic? Who came with you today?
My husband came with me.
Who came with you today? Did you take very long to get here?
Yes, it took me 2 hours. No, it took me just 15 minutes.
Did you take very long to get here? Did you have any problems getting here?
No, I didn't have any problems.
Did you have any problems getting here? Did you have any problems finding a parking spot?
No, I found parking across the street.
Did you have any problems finding a parking spot? How long have you been waiting for me?
I have been waiting for 15 minutes.
How long have you been waiting for me? Did you study for the citizenship test?
Yes, I studied every day for a year.
Did you study for the citizenship test? Do you feel well prepared for your test today?
Yes, I do.
Do you feel well prepared for your test today? Why do you want to become a U.S. citizen?
I want to vote.
Why do you want to become a U.S. citizen? Do you understand what an oath is?
It is a promise to tell the truth.
Do you understand what an oath is? Do you have any questions before we start?
No, I don't have any questions. Yes, I have an error on my N400 application. Can you correct it for me?
Do you have any questions before we start? How are you eligible to be a U.S. citizen?
I have been a permanent resident for 6 years.
How are you eligible to be a U.S. citizen? When did you become a permanent resident?
I became a permanent resident on July 20, 2017.
When did you become a permanent resident? When did you get your green card?
I got my green card on July 20, 2017.
When did you get your green card? How many years have you had your green card?
I've had my green card for 7 years.
How many years have you had your green card? How long have you been a permanent resident?
I have been a permanent resident for 6 years.
How long have you been a permanent resident? How did you get your green card?
I got my green card through my sister.
How did you get your green card? Who sponsored you?
My sister sponsored me.
Who sponsored you? When did you enter the U.S.?
I entered the U.S. on July 20, 2017.
When did you enter the U.S.? What is your date of residency?
July 20, 2017.
What is your date of residency? How long have you lived in the U.S.?
7 years.
How long have you lived in the U.S.? For how long have you resided in the U.S.?
7 years.
For how long have you resided in the U.S.? Do you plan to live in the U.S. permanently?
Yes, I plan to live here permanently.
Do you plan to live in the U.S. permanently? What is your full name?
My full name is Thi Mei Lin Hoang.
What is your full name? What is your current legal name?
My legal name is Thi Mei Lin Hoang.
What is your current legal name? What is your last name?
My last name is Hoang.
What is your last name? What is your first name?
My first name is Thi Mei Lin.
What is your first name? How do you spell your last name?
Hoang.
Do you have a middle name?
No, I don't have a middle name.
Do you have a middle name? What is your middle name?
I don't have a middle name.
What is your middle name? What is the name listed on your green card?
Thi Mei Lin Hoang.
What is the name listed on your green card? What is the name that appears on your green card?
Thi Mei Lin Hoang.
What is the name that appears on your green card? Have you used any other names since birth?
No, I haven't used any other names.
Have you used any other names since birth? Do you go by any other names?
No, I don't.
Do you go by any other names? What other names have you had?
No.
What other names have you had? Have you had other names?
No, officer.
Have you had other names? What other names have you used?
No, I haven't used any other names.
What other names have you used? Have you ever changed your name?
No, I've never changed my name.
Have you ever changed your name? Do you want to change your name?
No, I don't want to change my name.
Do you want to change your name? Would you like to change your name?
Yes, I want to change my name to Kathy Hoang.
Would you like to change your name? What name do you want to use when you become a citizen?
Kathy Hoang.
What name do you want to use when you become a citizen? What name do you want on your naturalization certificate? What name do you want on your naturalization certificate? What is your social security number?
692-74-8576.
What is your social security number? What is your date of birth?
December 17, 1980.
What is your date of birth? What is your birthday?
December 17, 1980.
What is your birthday? Where were you born?
I was born in Vietnam.
Where were you born? What is your country of birth?
My country of birth is Vietnam.
What is your country of birth? In which country were you born?
Vietnam.
In which country were you born? Where are you from?
I'm from Vietnam.
Where are you from? What is your country of nationality?
Vietnam.
What is your country of nationality? Are you a citizen of Vietnam?
Yes, I'm a citizen of Vietnam.
Are you a citizen of Vietnam? Are you a citizen of any other country?
No, I'm only a citizen of Vietnam.
Are you a citizen of any other country? What is your phone number?
949-631-8842.
What is your phone number? What is your email address?
LINHH42@gmail.com.
What is your email address? What is your current address?
6565 53rd Avenue, Sacramento, California, 95828.
What is your current address? Where do you live?
6565 53rd Avenue, Sacramento, California, 95828.
Where do you live? What is your mailing address?
My mailing address is the same as my home address.
What is your mailing address? Do you have a different mailing address?
No, the mailing address is the same as the home address.
Do you have a different mailing address? Do you rent or own your home?
I own my home.
Do you rent or own your home? Who do you live with?
I live with my husband and my children.
Who do you live with? Have you moved after you sent your application?
No, I haven't moved after I sent my application.
Have you moved after you sent your application? When did you move to the current address?
I moved to the current address on October 16, 2019.
When did you move to the current address? How long have you lived at the current address?
I've lived at the current address for 3 years.
How long have you lived at the current address? When did you leave that address?
I left that address on December 22, 2018.
When did you leave that address? What was your previous address?
6330 North Point Way, Sacramento, California, 95831.
What was your previous address? Where did you live before?
6330 North Point Way, Sacramento, California, 95831.
Where did you live before? When did you move to that address?
I moved to that address on January 14, 2021.
When did you move to that address? When did you begin living at that address?
I began living there on January 14, 2021.
When did you begin living at that address? Have you lived anywhere else in the last 5 years?
No, that's it.
Have you lived anywhere else in the last 5 years? Have you lived at any other addresses?
Yes. The other address that I lived is 2078 Norwalk Avenue, Los Angeles, California, 90041.
Have you lived at any other addresses? Where else have you lived in the last 5 years?
That's it.
Where else have you lived in the last 5 years? How tall are you?
I'm 5 feet 4 inches.
How tall are you? How much do you weigh?
I'm 101 pounds.
How much do you weigh? What is your hair color?
Black.
What is your hair color? What is your eye color?
Brown.
What is your eye color? What is your race?
I'm Asian.
What is your race? Are you Hispanic or Latino?
No, I'm Asian.
Are you Hispanic or Latino? Do you work?
Yes.
Do you work? Are you currently working?
No, I'm not working.
Are you currently working? How do you support yourself?
My husband supports me.
How do you support yourself? Do you have a job right now?
Yes, I do.
Do you have a job right now? What is your occupation?
I'm a nail technician.
What is your occupation? What is your job?
I'm a nail technician.
What is your job? What kind of work do you do?
I'm a nail technician.
What kind of work do you do? Where do you work?
Perfect Nail and Spa.
Where do you work? Where are you employed?
Perfect Nail and Spa.
Where are you employed? Who is your current employer?
Perfect Nail and Spa.
Who is your current employer? How long have you been working there?
I've been working there for 2 years.
How long have you been working there? How long have you had that job?
I've had the job for 2 years.
How long have you had that job? When did you begin working there?
I began working there on August 17, 2021.
When did you begin working there? Where did you work before that?
I worked at Susan Nails before that.
Where did you work before that? What did you do?
I was a nail technician.
What did you do? When did you leave that job?
I left that job on January 18, 2018.
When did you leave that job? Have you had any other jobs?
No, that's it.
Have you had any other jobs? Have you worked anywhere else in the last 5 years?
That's it.
Have you worked anywhere else in the last 5 years? What jobs have you had in the past 5 years?
That's it.
What jobs have you had in the past 5 years? Have you attended any schools since you came to the U.S.?
No.
Have you attended any schools since you came to the U.S.? Were your parents married before your 18th birthday?
Yes.
Were your parents married before your 18th birthday? Is your mother or father a U.S. citizen?
No. My mother and my father are not U.S. citizens.
Is your mother or father a U.S. citizen? Is either of your parents a U.S. citizen?
No. My parents are not U.S. citizens.
Is either of your parents a U.S. citizen? Have you ever left the U.S. for more than 6 months?
No.
Have you ever left the U.S. for more than 6 months? Have you taken any trips outside the U.S. in the last 5 years?
Yes. I've taken 2 trips to Vietnam in the last 5 years.
Have you taken any trips outside the U.S. in the last 5 years? Have you traveled outside the U.S. in the last 5 years?
Yes. I went to Vietnam 2 times in the last 5 years.
Have you traveled outside the U.S. in the last 5 years? How many trips have you taken outside the U.S. in the last 5 years?
2 trips.
How many trips have you taken outside the U.S. in the last 5 years? Where did you go?
I went to Vietnam.
Where did you go? When did you leave the U.S.?
I left the U.S. on July 27, 2018.
When did you leave the U.S.? When did you return to the U.S.?
I returned to the U.S. on August 9, 2018.
When did you return to the U.S.? How long were you gone?
14 days.
How long were you gone? How long was your trip?
14 days.
How long was your trip? How many days were you outside the U.S. on this trip?
14 days.
How many days were you outside the U.S. on this trip? Why did you leave the U.S.?
I went on vacation.
Why did you leave the U.S.? Did you take any other trips outside the U.S. in the last 5 years?
No, that's it.
Did you take any other trips outside the U.S. in the last 5 years? Have you ever left the U.S. for a year or more?
No.
Have you ever left the U.S. for a year or more? Why was the first trip longer than 6 months?
Because I needed to take care of my mother.
Why was the first trip longer than 6 months? What is your marital status?
I'm married. I'm divorced.
What is your marital status? How many times have you been married?
1 time.
How many times have you been married? Were you married before?
No.
Were you married before? When did you get married?
I got married on May 18, 2008.
When did you get married? Where did you get married?
I got married in Vietnam.
Where did you get married? What is your spouse's full name? What is your spouse's full name? What is your spouse's birth date?
April 28, 1980.
What is your spouse's birth date? What is your spouse's occupation?
He is a worker.
What is your spouse's occupation? How many times has your spouse been married?
He has been married 2 times.
How many times has your spouse been married? Has your spouse had any previous marriages?
Yes, he has been married 2 times.
Has your spouse had any previous marriages? What is your spouse's country of origin?
He was from Vietnam.
What is your spouse's country of origin? Is your spouse a U.S. citizen?
No, he is a permanent resident.
Is your spouse a U.S. citizen? What is your spouse's immigration status?
My husband is a permanent resident.
What is your spouse's immigration status? Does your spouse live with you?
Yes, he lives with me.
Does your spouse live with you? Was your spouse born in the U.S.?
No, he was born in Vietnam.
Was your spouse born in the U.S.? Is your spouse a U.S. citizen at birth?
No, he became a U.S. citizen through naturalization.
Is your spouse a U.S. citizen at birth? When did your spouse become a U.S. citizen?
He became a U.S. citizen on October 11, 2015.
When did your spouse become a U.S. citizen? Do you have any children?
Yes, I have 2 children.
Do you have any children? How many children do you have?
I have 2 children.
How many children do you have? Are your children biological to you?
Yes, they are.
Are your children biological to you? What is your children's relationship to you?
They are my biological children.
What is your children's relationship to you? What are your children's names? What are your children's names? What are your children's dates of birth?
My son's date of birth is September 2nd, 2009. My daughter's date of birth is August 4, 2011.
What are your children's dates of birth? Where were your children born?
My children were born in Vietnam.
Where were your children born? Do your children live with you?
Yes, my children live with me.
Do your children live with you? What is the immigration status of your children?
My children are permanent residents.
What is the immigration status of your children? Do you have any children from your previous marriage?
Yes, I have a child from my previous marriage.
Do you have any children from your previous marriage? Do you and your spouse have any children?
Yes, we have 2 children.
Do you and your spouse have any children? Do you have any stepchildren?
Yes, I have a stepchild.
Do you have any stepchildren? Do you have any adopted children?
No, I don't.
Do you have any adopted children? Does your spouse have any previous children?
Yes, he has 1 daughter from his previous marriage.
Does your spouse have any previous children?